Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, November 8th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about technical analysis and how it can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick before I get started, I do want to personally invite you to sign up for this free live online class that I'm offering this upcoming week on Thursday. So if you're liking what you see and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, then there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click on. So just keep that in mind as I go through the content. And if you're liking what you see, then definitely get signed up. First one here, LCID. Done this one several times, but today came back to life again. You can see volume down here. Very nice, and then the price made a very impressive move to the upside and accomplished quite a bit. Main bit of accomplishment was this initial red line there, which I've talked about in past videos, being that initial area of resistance. So you can see right there, broke up through there, good solid move. And now it's really just a question of how much more continuation can this get, and that reminds me, a couple of disclosures real quick. I'm going to be doing the 30-minute time frame. So each one of these, as they're called, candlesticks, represents 30 minutes worth of time. And also the market is still open for a little bit. So no, you're not seeing things. That candlestick right there is still moving. But I like to kind of do this while the market's still open because sometimes we can capture some very entertaining action. So no, but you're not crazy to if you're, I don't know, is that actually moving? It is definitely moving. So like I said, that breakout has occurred right there. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that line as it served its purpose for now. But the next level here that very curious about, I'm going to go ahead and make a slight little adjustment, but it's all about this level right here at $40.25. And I did need to adjust that level higher, which is a good thing. Whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that's definitely always a step in the, the bullish direction, and that's what you want to see. But that's really the key dynamic here is $40.25. I mean, you can see right there, presented a problem. And then generally speaking today, multiple times the price, just couldn't quite, maintain any sort of momentum up around that level. But in the event the price does ultimately get back above 40.25, the next key level up there, whoops, let's change that, is going to be right up here at $41.50. So keep a close eye on that. But like I said, before you put too much focus and emphasis on 41.50, let's just first see if the price can break above 40.25. And then from a trend perspective, as long as the price remains above that green line, everything is perfectly, fine. And as of now, the price isn't anywhere close to there. But all in all, got the breakout today of that initial resistance. Let's see if 40.25 can be broken next week. Next one here, METX, and a very, very nice way to end the week, just like LCID. Volume came in nicely here, got the nice move. And then what's also nice is got some nice consolidation right here. So a very nice pattern that, a lot of people have noticed. So I'm not trying to come across like this is some sort of great discovery or that I have some sort of special talent to have noticed this pattern. The exact opposite. I assure you, a whole lot of people have noticed this stuff. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same things, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can create some very dynamic movements. And that's what we have right here. So you know that there's going to be a bunch of people watching this general area right here at 64 cents, wondering, can the price finally break through that level? You can see right here presented some problems. And then today never quite hit it exactly, but definitely got within the general vicinity. But 64 cents is going to be that main breakout point. And then if the price can push up through there, the next key overarching level going to be right up there around the 72 cent mark. But like LCID, before you put too much focus on 72 cents, let's just first see if the price can break up through that 64 cent mark. As far as areas of support are concerned, as long as the price now maintains above that purple line right there, the 50 period moving average. So keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to continue to move itself higher and higher. So as long as the price maintains above that line where the line itself is moving higher and higher, that's definitely a good step in the right direction and a good, kind of symbol that, the bulls are still in control. Next one, AMC, and a good overall day. Was it anything explosive? It was not, but what is it? Was it a healthy day? It absolutely was, and the quote-unquote health is easy to see just based off of this red line here that I drew in previous videos. So in other words, a breakout has happened. So $40.80 has now been broken, and this just brings about a basic update within the world of charts, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So now moving forward, right around $40.80 is going to be that ideal level of support. I say ideal because it's not like if the price falls below there, then the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, preferably speaking, if the price can stay above that level, that would definitely be a step in the right direction. But also, as I've already mentioned, as far as the overarching trend of things, watch that purple line. As long as it moves higher and higher and the price stays above it, that's going to be a good sign that the bulls are still in full control. As far as next key overarching levels of resistance, I think right up there at 43 is going to be the next kind of, glaring public enemy number one, which, as you see here, presented quite a problem a few days ago. But all in all, anyway, look at it. the chart remains fine. I mean, the price is putting in higher bases. Today, like I said, got the breakout of that little miniature resistance line right there. So things continue to drift higher and higher, and that's what you want. Next one, ALZN. Very nice pattern here. Got the opening explosion right there. Big move up, and then the price now has pulled back. So it's one of those situations where if you're somebody that's always kind of wondering, I don't know, am I chasing the price? Am I suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? There's none of that here going on because the price is pulled back. Now, for the people that bought right there, yeah, they were probably suffering from FOMO. But at this point, that you would no longer have the worry of, am I buying too high? Am I buying the top? Because like I said, the price has pulled back, which now brings about a couple of very well-defined areas. Let's actually change that. Let's make that green here. So first key level to watch if there is any sort of pullback going to be right there around $2.70. So that'll be the main area of support. And then again, you're probably catching the common theme here from an overarching standpoint. Just watch that purple line. I get it. Seems irrelevant right now, but remember, moving average. So that level will move and get higher and higher and get more relevant as next week plays out. And then as far as the areas of resistance are concerned, first key level to watch in the near term, going to be right there at the 305 mark. And then after 305, next key level up there right around $3.25. But all in all, nice movement today, nice momentum, going through a nice little consolidation here. So we'll see if the price can ultimately break out of the consolidation and start building a much bigger overall trend. Next one, BBBY, and did this analysis a couple days ago, and it was all about this red line here right up at 21. And there wasn't a whole lot to be said, because the price just continued to stay down around that area and struggle with it. I mean, it tried several times, but could never quite get through it. But that all changed right there during that 30-minute time frame. So the breakout has happened, which just equates into the next question of, okay, yeah, breakouts occurred. Is this the start of something much bigger? There's no guarantees, but it now does make sense to ask that question, right? Before it had broken out, it would make no sense to say, I don't know, is this the start of something bigger? Because, well, it hasn't even done anything yet. But in this situation, it has done something, right? It's broken out through 21. So now that question makes sense to ask. And as far as, how can we, best answer that question, in my mind, if we just get this trend line in play right here, I think that'll serve as a good leading indicator, meaning if the price can get up here and break through that trend line, especially on a high volume break. Again, no guarantees, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that the price could get up to $26 and even higher? I definitely think so. But like I said, the moral of the story here is that the thing has happened, the breakout, so now it does make sense to start to question, all right, is this the start of something bigger? Let's see what next week brings. Next one here, ticker symbol RGBP, down in the world of penny stocks. But, I mean, when you have penny stocks getting this amount of volume, worth at least keeping an eye on. And, definitely got a very nice breakout move here. So to set up the context, there was this downtrending trend line right there. But early this morning during that opening 30 minutes, got the break and things have continued to grind higher and higher. So same general idea of what we just talked about. The breakout has happened. So now it just becomes a question of, all right, is this breakout going to get that much more continuation? Or more specifically, is the trend just going to continue to build itself? Because even before that breakout, you can see that a trend was already forming with these lows getting higher and higher. So as long as that's the case, that's what matters most. So yes, as exciting as it would be for the price to just go straight up, that's definitely the most exciting, situation. But from a just overall health perspective, as long as if we want to vision these stair steps, so as long as these stair steps continue to be constructed in the upwards direction, that is by far what's going to matter most. But from an overarching standpoint, definitely got the trend line breakout today. So once again, it makes sense. It's plausible to throw out the question, hey, is this the start of a whole new move to the upside? And so far, so good. But if you like to play penny stocks and you like to play, breakouts that are occurring in overall uptrends, then this is one that I'd say put on your watch list. Next one here, AABB. And I promise this is not by design. This is just kind of how sometimes the market unfolds, and you got a bunch of setups that are pretty much the same general idea. But, some days it's a bunch of stocks that are pulling back and you're playing pullbacks. Other days like this, it's a lot of stocks that have broken out. And it just brings about the question of, so again, you can see right here, pulled back, had this resistance area right there, but got the breakout right here. And the nice thing about the breakout is check out all the volume since that breakout. Very solid, respectable volume. And from a volume analysis standpoint, that's the exact sort of behavior you want to see. So I'm not going to sit here and beat the dead horse. You've heard me talk about it now 2 stocks in a row. But yes, the breakout has happened. So now it makes sense to throw out the question, hey, is this the start of something bigger? So far, so good. You can see a lot of continuation from that breakout. And as far as the next kind of key overall level to watch from a resistance standpoint, that's going to be right up here at the 21 cent mark. Let me change that to red for resistance. So 21 cents, public enemy number 1 moving forward. But yeah, no doubt about it. Got the breakout on good solid volume. So is this the start of something much bigger? Next week's going to be very interesting. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. And this is going to be very straightforward because there's nothing complicated here at all. But that's good. The simpler setups, the more people are watching them, and the more you get a self-fulfilling prophecy attribute. But the level here that I can, I'd bet a lot of money on that a bunch of people around the world have done is this right here. They've drawn that trend line, they've noticed it and said, wow, there has been a little bit of selling pressure that's shown up, represented by that trend line there. But it's also, people are thinking, but, if it can get up there and break through that trend line, well, that would be a breakout. And breakouts are what things do in, uptrends. The other breakout here that's occurred recently, check out that breakout. There was some selling pressure that showed up, got the breakout, and the rest is history. Now, am I saying that if it breaks this trend line, it's for sure going to, move like that? Of course not. There are no for sures. There are no guarantees. But is it plausible? Is it rational to keep your eye on that trend line and think that if the price can break through it, that could generate another round of momentum? It's absolutely a plausible thought process to have. So really, in my mind, it's as simple as that. Watch the trend line. All people around the world are watching that trend line, and let's see if Tesla can once again get a break and then build more momentum. Next one here, CEI, and very nice movement today. Huge move up. It did pull back, but I wouldn't call this a crash. Now, okay, Clay, well, what would you have considered a crash? Well, had the price, let's say, come down here below $1.25, that would have been a pretty big issue. Because think about if that had happened. Price comes down here to $1.25 and then goes there. What would that be doing? Well, that would be putting the price right back to where it was. I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements with genuine strength are not going to go back to where they were, right? And that's what $1.25 is representing, or in other words, what I would call a progress point. And that's what you want to see, right? You want to see prices making progress. Because if the price stays above $1.25, that implies that that stair step would be right there. You'd have a stair step there. You'd have that stair step down there. And then you get the idea. These stair steps would still be making progress in the upwards direction. So, is today, is there some genuine power behind it? Well, let's just see if the price can make progress. And again, you now know how to define progress. And that's why I like charts is I get it, me just saying, well, it's got to show progress. Okay, well, what does that even mean? Like define progress. But with charts, you can define it. So progress being defined as, like I said, that $1.25 mark. As far as main areas of resistance, all about that pink line up there. The very well-known, the very famous 200 period moving average, currently valued at $1.39. So keep a close eye on that. But all in all, nice surge today. Sure, it pulled back a little bit, but there's still plenty of opportunity to show some signs of progress. So let's see if the price can do that or not next week. Next one here, ticker symbol PLTR, and this is going to be like Tesla, a very straightforward level here that I think people around the world are watching, and it's going to be all about this. I think people around the world have drawn a trend line very, very, very similar to that. And you can see it's done a fantastic job of forecasting where these problem areas are. So it's really, and in fact, let's just do the entire pattern. Then there's just another trend line like that. So in fact, let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish attribute of the pattern. But point here being, even if you don't want to draw on that trend line, like I said, most people, assuming you're a long-sided trader, like to play breakouts, are going to be watching that trend line right there. You got this wedge-shaped pattern here. It's all occurring in an overall uptrend, the uptrend being seen via that increasing 200 period moving average pink line right there. So once again, while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid to think that if the price can work its way back up to that trend line and get the break up through it, that could create a whole nother round of upwards momentum? That's an absolutely valid thought process to have. But on the flip side, that there's a bunch of shorts also watching that lower trend line, and they're thinking, if the price comes down here and breaks down through it, that's a sign of weakness, which is true on their part. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to make any money because it could be a fake breakdown and the price could just snap back upwards. But again, from a short-sided perspective, it's also, that's a valid thought process to have. But like I said, point here being, I think people around the world, because these trend lines are just very straightforward, they're going to be watching these levels and wondering, which way does it ultimately break? So like I said, with Tesla, you got to love the simple setups because simple setups mean lots of people are watching them, and then you can get that self-fulfilling prophecy angle. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about how charts can be used, how they should be used, how they should not be used in order to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be next week on Thursday, November 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely get signed up for it. If you enjoy these top 10 videos and like this format, then please communicate that to me so I know whether I should keep doing these sorts of videos. And you can do that by hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment below, even if it's just telling me a ticker symbol that you traded today, giving me a smiley face emoji. But a simple comment and hitting that like button is a very quick, efficient way to communicate to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I have no problem at all continuing to put in the time and effort to make them. And again, if you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis and how it can be used to build charts or consistency with charts, then definitely get signed up for it. But overall, hopefully everybody had a great weekend or had a great week, and I wish you a great weekend. And like I said, get signed up for the class if you're interested.